Okay, Mike Masato, CEO of Staff Driven Dental. I'm the Dental Road Warrior, training for episode 85 in this series. Every once in a while, I'm driving around and I don't have an intention to do one of these, but then I just think of something I want to talk about, and I don't know where it's going to end up going. So I'm just going to talk off the top of my head about something that just popped into my mind now, as just trying to get my docs and clients back in the game and practicing dentistry again. We really live, and if you think about it, in crazy times right now. These are really challenging, crazy times. You look at the world and what's going on in this country, and for better or for worse, mainly for worse, on so many levels right now. And it can be very defeating. It can really be draining, emotionally, mentally, in many ways. And and then having this whole pandemic hit, and the way it was handled, whether you agree with it or not, obviously forcing us out of practice and forcing us out of what we do and our livelihoods, makes it challenging. And we also forget on the other end of this whole thing, it's not just ourselves personally, but think about our staff, and we think about our patients. It's been challenging for them too. As my doctors are getting back to work, the patients have been coming back in a flourish. They really want to take care. There's a large number of them that want to take care of their health, and they want to get back to taking their health. So my question to you is, if you're watching this, if you're a doctor or a staff member in dentistry today, are you being part of the solution, or are you being part of the problem? Because it's just really incredible to me, the stuff and the crap that my doctors and my officers are dealing with, trying to get back to doing healthcare. Let's go back to remember who we are. What we are healthcare providers. We are there for the sake of the health and well-being of society. We contribute on many levels to that. For people being well, staying well. We fill a vital niche in society doing that. Now, and they can pass whatever executive orders they want, and you can hear things from hygiene organizations and other dental associations about who's essential and who's not essential. But if you haven't figured it out yet right now, that you are essential and that you are necessary, whether you are a hygienist or an assistant or a doctor, or just someone who basically greets patients and takes care of them when they come in and helps them get well. If you haven't figured that out by now, you're in the wrong profession. I had a hygienist basically respond to my last Dental Road Warrior, all irate about, I think you just made my decision about not coming back to practice that much easier. My response to that was, great, I'm glad I could help you. Because here's the thing, if you don't have people that are truly dedicated to healthcare and helping others in the first place, why have them there? Okay. Now look, as I said before, these are emotional times. And I've said this going back since this whole thing hit. You have to be safe. You have to be smart. You have to take the precautions. You have to do all of those things. And I've said this before, that soon, in the near future, in the next several months, a year from now, as the science and the research and the facts catch up with what's going on in reality right now, and we actually find out how we've been approaching this. We're going to find out how wrong we've been on many areas here. When the true data starts to come out and the true research comes out, to prove what the extent of where we're at with this whole thing. Because think about it realistically, we're not going to be able to handle every pandemic that comes our way, every virus that comes our way like this in years to come. It's not feasible that we crash our entire economy, crash our entire healthcare system, and put everybody at risk health-wise, even worse, with the solution. And there's got to be a better way. And I'm hoping that in other times in the near future, that cooler heads will bear, smarter people than me, and smarter people that are at it right now will figure out a way so we don't have to go through this again. But in the meantime, it comes down to each individual doctor that's watching this to remember, what we're here for. We are there to basically help others and people are, and you're needed out there. So it's time to get back in the game. And I hear all these times every day about my staff doesn't want to come back to work. Well, you know what? They don't have that choice anymore. Because where most every state that I'm in, that I serve right now, the order's been lifted on dentists, and you guys can come back to work and be seeing patients on every level. So here's the thing: it's a free country. If you do not want to come back to work, it's quite simple. You don't have to come back to work. But docs, if that's causing a problem for you because you can't help other people now and see your patients, you can't be held hostage by this. You need to move on. And maybe that's a warning sign. Maybe that's a wake-up call. And I've said there's plenty of opportunity in these times for change. Right? Times change. And you know what? And this is one of those pivotal points in history of dentistry or in society when things are going to change. It's kind of like when the internet popped up, nothing was ever going to be the same for a lot of businesses as well. Well, it's the same time now in dentistry that we're going to be going into a new era of things. And maybe this is a time that you're going to see a purging of practices that are out there that were really not serving society well. They were on the fringe, and now they're going to go under. I heard a lot of DSO chains are losing a lot of their practices because their margins and the way they were, and they're not going to continue. They're shutting down locations. Well, that's a good thing in my book, so people can go get better dentistry. I mean, look, a clinic does play a role in society, but I'm all for quality dental care, so that could be a good thing. Dentists that were on the fringe of retiring now. I had a patient come into one of my clients the other day and saying she went by her doctor's office because she hadn't heard anything from the doctor, walked up to the door, and there was a sign on the door that they are permanently closed, never to reopen again. No email, no communication, no nothing. They just went out of business. They were there one day and gone 3 months later. And with no communication to patients, nothing. Right? And now she found a new dental home with one of my clients. You know how much is going to be going on? You know how many patients right now have been stranded because of this or without a dental home? This is an opportunity, docs, for you that are watching, right? There is abundance out there. Do you have a scarcity mentality about what's going on right now, or an abundance mentality what's going on right now? There is nothing but abundance. I'm finding out, people laying off staff members. There's so many great people to be hired out there right now. Maybe it's time that you take a really hard look at your staff and see who's really with you and who really is dedicated to you, and on purpose about what they do, right? Especially at this stage of the game. Right? We've been very accommodating, and we with everything right now, with the unemployment and waiting till we get back under the right circumstances, the PPP money, everything we've been doing right now. So if you're getting resistance now at this point, as we move into mid-June, looking into the summer months. At what point is it going to be a good time? Staff can't be holding you hostage and dictating when they're going to come back to work. You call those shots. But maybe it's a time, for you to really seriously look and assess your office and say, really, do I have the optimal team here? Is this the best possible team that I can possibly have? Are these people really with me? And look at that. And as I said before, of course we care about them and their families, and we don't want to put them at risk, et cetera, et cetera. Right? But there's a happy medium. Right? And for people to tell you point blank, I don't want to work, I don't want to come back, I want this, I want that, and making all these unrealistic demands, that's not fair to you, doc, right? And it goes the other way around too. And I had a doctor too that I was just talking to today, that I found out through one of my coaches that he says, you got to talk to him. I said, why? Well, he's depressed. He doesn't, he's not motivated to come back to work at this point, and he's putting it off, and instead of being back to work already, he's waiting for the end of the month and going in, maybe waiting until July. So I talked to the doc, gave him some coaching, try to get his head in a better place, right? Because a lot of you docs, people are going through this right now. You're out of your routine, you're home. We're defeated, we're lazy or whatever. In whatever conditions overcome, whatever malaise we're in right now, and we got to bust out of it. And the best way to bust out of it is to go back to your practice, get reconnected with it, start seeing people, start helping people. There's not a better cure, to get yourself into a better mental state than helping others. We forget how fulfilling that is when you change people's lives and restore their health by what you do. And you need to be doing that again. I don't care if it's 2 patients a day. Go back to your office, get into a routine for now, and start seeing people. And then 2 became 4, become 8 before you know we have a full schedule. Little by little, getting reconnected with your people. Which I coached this doctor to do, and he's going to be going in there with his office manager now on Monday and his team and coach, and let's say we're going to hit it and we're going to start filling a schedule. Right? But again, it's very easy to get off track. It's very easy to feel that we're all alone in this world and we're the only one going through this. No, we've all been hit hard by this whole thing. But you need to find people that are going to be in your life that are going to support you, coach you, help you through this whole thing, and be committed again, to why we started doing this in the first place. And I go back to it. We don't have that option. It should be not, being a healthcare provider should not be optional. By a staff member's decision, a doctor's decision, whatever, you are needed out there. You are important. You are vital, and you need to be seeing patients again. And under whatever parameters have been laid out for you, work within those parameters. That's what you got to do. You do whatever it takes, right? Because right now is the time. So, and I wanted to share this because I just want to let you know you're not alone out there. You're not the only one hearing this kind of stuff. you know, and from wherever you are. My docs and clients are running into the same thing at this point. But you really got to start asking yourself, are you being part, or is your team being part of the solution and not part of the problem? Because if you are resistant to getting back into practice and treating patients and in a safe environment like that and helping others, if you're fighting that right now on whatever level, you're being part of the problem, right? And you really want to be part of the solution right now. And the solution to what ails us right now is, again, helping others, getting back to what we do best, which is treating patients with our phenomenal care that we offer everyone. And I hope you understand and get where that's coming from. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to continue to follow them and watching them, and I appreciate you sharing them whenever you can.